meetings.
Okay, it is Wednesday, July 24th, 6:09 p.m. Call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We have myself, Robert, present. We have Alfredo present. We have Diana present, and we have Alan on Zoom. Joao is not present. So I call the meeting to order. Number 2, determination of quorum. We have quorum. Number 3, approval of minutes of the meetings from June 19th. June 19th, sorry, I had to go back and let someone in. July 3rd.
Recording in progress.
July 3rd, actually, that was the special assessment meeting. We had the board of directors meeting and the owners meeting on the same night. For those minutes, I make a motion to approve those minutes. Okay, any discussion? No, minutes are approved. Treasurer's report. Joao did send through the treasurer's report. He's not here. I suggest we, rather than reading that through, that we just attach those to the minutes, and then we can, unless there was any discussion point on that, let me just pull it up to be sure.
Did you want us to talk about any points on that?
Let me see. Treasurer's report. Let me just go through a couple of the items here to be reported and discussed. May financial statements have been provided and pending revision from board. June financial statements are pending. President, Vice President to send latest June Comcast invoices. I apparently need to find the Comcast invoice. What I sent apparently was declined by Oscar. So I need to find a different invoice. Delinquency report from July 24th. 15 unit owners are in arrears with overall figure of $24,266. And so that is something that we need to look at closely. Unit 25 alternative address has been updated to this address, Alfredo, that you just provided. So that has been updated with enumerate, so with the financials. So if there's any mailings from them or notifications, it will be sent to her correct mailing address. Second, special assessment loan status. Leeward Point has communicated to Valley Bank that both board of directors and unit owners have approved the second loan. Valley Bank has requested that we sign the loan commitment letter. I thought we did sign that. I'll ask him about that. Leeward Point has signed Valley Bank loan commitment letter and has received loan documents. Commitment letter, loan documents, and initial documentation has been sent to Leeward Point attorneys to revise and provide comments, which are expected by Friday, July 26th. So by end of week this week. Auditing process. Leeward Point has provided to the auditor all documentation that has been provided by previous property manager after this documentation had been requested several times. We are currently waiting for the auditor's confirmation that he has all information necessary to provide 2022, 2023 auditing reports. Additional decisions that have been taken until now, checks approved and signed by board in document appendix to this report. 2 pre-lien letters have been sent to 2 delinquent homeowners. That was sent by our attorneys. Change of insurance agent, now Alejandro Garcia from Acrisure Southeast, our main agent after contracting new flood insurance policies. What we do need to send apparently is photographs of all buildings. And there was a question on appraisal. Alfredo, do we know the last appraisal that was taken here? It's rough timeline. Okay. So that, do you know where that, any appraisal in the past would be kept?
Or the Google Drive,
Might be good.
might be in there.
Yeah.
Maybe worth a look to take a look at it.
Let me check. Alan, you're hearing us, right? Do you know in the Google Drive, maybe if you can check if there's the appraisal in there?
I did not see any. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I did not see any appraisal ever in any document.
Okay.
The only appraisal that we have is for the Clubhouse in 2017, which they stated the price, which was $750,000, and that was the only thing that I know of, that we have a copy on the maintenance room.
Okay.
But for the residential building, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So
Does that mean we're gonna pay for appraisal?
Potentially, with any new or with any renewal, that is always a potential. So there'll be a call into the agent to see. Mhm.
Peter Carvalho should actually have a copy of the appraisal. So
He should?
I believe so.
Okay,
They supposed to provide that information as you requested.
okay, I will ask Peter Catayo.
Maybe a good place to start. Because appraisals cost money, right? So that we have to pay for it.
Yeah, and if we have one within the last 3 or so years, that should be sufficient. Payments waiting for additional information. NV5 breakdown has been provided, but we're still pending final invoice according to this breakdown, which has been requested July 4th and July 23rd. Improved fire alarms. Contract with Leeward Point has been provided, but we are still pending board decision on which vendor we want to provide this service. Primex Management group of invoices has been resent to the board with the majority related to 2023 expenses. But we are still waiting an answer from Primex Management that these are the last invoices we will receive and no more will be sent to be paid. Tree trimming service invoice of $5,000 has been sent, but we are still pending better understanding on how this figure compares with other providers. So the question that Joao had, and we were discussing, $5,000 is twice a year, so $10,000 total.
No, that's not true. That's wrong. And I think that I clarified on the email that I sent is from what we paid last year, it was $3,500 and the budget is $4,000. So right now, because of the lack of maintenance and all the deep trimming that we have to do, so the cost as today will be about $4,500, and that it's for annual tree trimming, including the coconut tree. But his recommendation in order to get, because I'm being actually having a lot of complaints from the unit owner, especially the ones that lives on the docks on the east side, that the coconut tree I never taken care. We have, and I actually clearly specify on the email, there is a group of people that come here and collect coconut fruits every so often for their own business, but they don't do any maintenance and they actually leave a lot of debris on the floor, and I have a lot of complaint. So the solution here to keep everything clear is that he said he will recommend 2 service per year on the coconut tree, and the price is $60 for the ones that are on the dock area and $50 for the one in front. So
tree.
yeah, per tree. So the total it will be $1,360 plus 4,500, which is what the budget, it will be about 6,800. Yeah.
Okay.
No, $5,800 from the estimate that Joao was calculating between 5 and 6. We are within range. So that is what we need to take into
Okay.
consideration. No, for the palm tree, it's twice because he recommended, and it's up to us unless you want to deal with the coconut. But we need to actually do it twice, and that's why he's charging $1,300 more to get the second treatment only for the 26 palms of coconut tree that we have around the
So
property.
the $5,800 is total for the year.
I'm sorry?
The 5,800 is total for the year.
Total for the year, that's correct.
That's what I didn't understand either.
Yeah.
I thought it was 5,800.
No, I actually, the more I'm trying to explain, the worse it gets, and everybody have a different interpretation, but you got it? So we are within the budget, okay?
I
And
have a
think-
question.
And I think that for the service, and everybody is being actually saying, and it comes to, for me to, like as a positive impact, that everybody likes the way that now everything is trimmed, because we had to do a major cut on the oak tree,
It
which,
wasn't a major cut. It was way better.
yes, and the shape of the podocarpus, there's a lot of old trees that were actually, you guys didn't even see, and they had to work around, and that's the reason that they actually charged me $5,000 this time, because of the lack of maintenance that we have on the trees. So that is what I needed to make sure that everybody is on the same page and understand. But the quality, the machinery, the professionally of this crew is super. And even the gardener, the next day that they came, he said they left everything clean, so didn't have any complaints. So for me, it's a plus. It's something that we need to take in consideration. He helped us out. This was the contractor that helped us out with the insurance issue that we needed to cut all the trees, okay. So, and he gave us a really fair price, because it was like, something ridiculous, $700. So I
can I
think
ask?
that we should keep it. We should keep it. And if we need to actually find some other, I think that we get what we pay for. Last year, and all day tree trimming, I don't think that it's a good company. It's not doing a professional service as this company now.
Hey, can I ask a question about it? Can you guys
Yeah.
hear me? So when they come back to do, you mentioned, I think 1,600 or something like that, to do the coconut trees. Are they also trimming the tree, or only removing?
Yeah,
the
they
coconuts?
trim the whole tree. Yeah, they trim the fruit, the stems, and the prunes, the branches.
Okay.
Now, you said other people were coming and just taking coconuts?
The coconuts that were ripe, and they were lefting, everything, hanging. So that's why
They were.
I couldn't
Did we
understand
ask them
why.
to come, or did they just come?
No, they have some arrangement with, previous board. They were coming here for free, but it was more the damage they were producing to the community, and we didn't have anything. In 3 times, I talked to them and I make a deal. Okay, give us a price. You can actually do, the service, and we can work together, because, okay, we give you the fruits, you have business, but give us something in return. So 3 times I told him, and exactly the same, left everything. I have everything documented, pictures with every too messy. So I don't think that we need people, in this community doing this kind of,
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of a liability.
right?
Yes,
So they're
Just-
climbing up and.
yes. And they have license, they are all, they're professional, and I think that I'm
The-
really
the
happy.
company.
Yeah, this company that came, I'm really happy. They messed up my plans, but I mean, I'm happy for the professional work that they did. I mean, it's, you can see the difference.
The ones by, the end of, by Ron over there, I think looked great.
Her mother, your mother stopped by and actually, she was impressed and she told me, wow, that's a great job. So everybody's noticing the difference. So I think that we should keep it, but. Okay.
So the more expensive one was because they needed to do more in the future.
Yeah,
with
they need to,
less?
they need to put all the canopy because the oak tree, that they have, like a long branches and on hurricane season, those are, very, prone to fall.
Yeah,
So they cut everything and they give it the shade. They trimmed the podocarpus at Maria's home. It was, like a huge, and they give them the shape and they actually reduce it. They cut, unit 1, they cut the mango tree, which was, overpassing the Mansard. So everything is ready for the storm. Everything is ready for the contractors when it comes. So I think that we solved the problem. So we don't
Yeah.
need to worry about, what he say,
Now,
December,
going forward,
January.
next time we do that service, is it going to be a little bit less because, they did more work now?
Well, no, definitely. He say, well, that, every year, like prices increase and we need to keep that in mind, but, it's not going to be $5,000. He say 45. And I think that I actually, say clearly on email, 45 plus 1,300 if we decided to keep the coconut tree, like in shape and get the fruits out. Because that's a tedious job. There's 11 palm trees that are, right on the dock.
are coconuts, are they year round?
Yeah.
So
For
they'd be like
every-
6 months and 6
For
months?
yeah, he was
Okay.
explaining between 4 to 5 months, but 6 months he seems, like it's borderline. So he can actually, like go and do it twice. Because he was suggesting me 3 times and say, I don't think that this is gonna happen. So
Okay,
Way better than what we're doing now.
exactly, and you can, like wait, because you know that they are scheduled to come and we don't need to start asking. So
We
they,
waited so many months.
yes.
That's a market improvement.
so yeah, the 10,000, at least how.
No, forget
it's-
about
it's not
10,000. No,
10,000.
that was
Between
confusion.
5,800 now and potentially between 5,000 and 5,800 in the future.
Exactly. Yes, to budget it, yes.
Mhm. Okay. I'm good with that. Thank you for arranging that, and you're right,
No, I'm happy because all the other unit owners, the ones that complains are happy, and
Yeah.
for me, it's like, I'm doing my own maintenance. So for me, it's like, can be, less, higher, but I think that this service is done, it's professionally and done, and, people in the community that are more affected are happy with it.
Yeah.
Right, Alan?
The
Right.
decision point on the treasurer's report is, who is the provider for maintenance of fire alarms?
Share the new,
And
for the fire, that was the fire extinguishers, not the fire alarm.
No, the fire extinguisher is in Miami Fires,
Okay.
and it's a completely
Separate.
different, yeah.
Ah,
So
the fire alarm, we don't know.
do we have that in the scheme, or you just, like wanted to introduce them because
no,
I
it's-
wasn't
I'm just
prepared.
going through the
Okay.
treasurer.
I wasn't prepared for this, but I can actually bring all this information because I think from the crap that you actually been going with fire alarm company since January, and the documentation that we have, which by the way was incomplete because there were like 3 pages and we received only one, which a multiple, like it was something that it was illegible. So I think for $160 more that this other company is charging, they're going to update the UL, which is a certificate that is already past due. And we needed to have it because if the inspector come here and evaluates and see that this is not update, so we're gonna have a fine. So this is pending, and this company hasn't done it yet, and it's supposed to do it back in March when it was due. So we have already a notice of cancellation of the service. So the guy was already came here, assessed all the machinery. He told me that everything is in good condition, and what we're gonna pay, it's we are paying 55 per month per contract. So we're gonna pay $5 more, $60 more, plus $300 for the update of the UL, the certificate of the fire.
So that one company that did the extinguishers can also do the,
Yeah,
and just bundle it together.
bundle it together.
Are we good with that?
I'm assuming there's probably a cost savings of bundling them together since they're already here versus like having to pay another. company
Separate.
probably more.
Well, bundling together
I would-
is one thing, but I mean, there's not much different because what I actually get, I got that referral from Miami Fire Extinguisher. They work in parallel, so they kind of like not a sister company, but they know each other, so they are synced. So we can actually find another company, but we need to take the fire extinguisher out, and it's another, you know, like job that we need to do.
To manage a separate.
Yeah, to manage it. So for
Can we check
me,
with one more company and compare or try to squeeze them down a little bit more?
are you going to complain about $5?
Alan, I
Well,
would
it's
say-
$5 a month.
Exactly,
$5 a
yeah,
month.
because the original contract we have is 55, and they actually are giving us a $60 because this is the today's rate.
It's only an
Okay.
extra $5. I would say if you have interest.
But we need to actually pay $300 every year for the renewal, the license, the fire license.
That's like standard, isn't it?
It's a
That's
standard,
true
yes.
across the board. Anybody-
That's a license fee.
That's a license fee, exactly. So I think that, you know, for this reason, this guy, you know, and he was able to come right when I called him. It was very thorough. He told me that we have a radio cellular on top, which is the one that connects with all the alarm system. And he already had the SIM card and everything ready when we actually signed the agreement. So we can move on with this company.
I propose we just go forward with that because the time invested to try to find another company is,
You got the email, you got the contract, you just sign and tell him, you know, when to come, and then we see him here. They can do it, you know, like if you
yeah,
want.
I'll sign contract. Can you do logistics for when they come?
Yeah, I can see, if you sign it today, I can call in tomorrow and
Okay.
they can, tomorrow
I'll
is
do that.
Friday,
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, they can come here on Friday, yeah.
Okay, if we're all good. Then
Did you read the contract, right? Did you read?
I'll read it, make sure everything's good
Okay,
and
all right.
understand.
Robert, can
Uh,
you turn the computer so I can see everybody and yourself? Put it in your left corner. There you go.
Oh, yeah, because I don't need the microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, much better. Thank you.
I do need the agenda though. So that is the treasurer's report. We made the decision on the fire company.
You're making the motion today?
Make the motion.
Yeah, I'll make a
Okay.
motion that the fire company, is that Miami Fire?
No, Miami Fire is the fire extinguisher. The other one is electric.
I make a motion that electric fire at $60 a month, if I remember that correctly, to service the fire systems within Leeward Point.
Pending your review of the contract, right, and signing. the contract.
I second.
Sounds good.
In favor?
Okay. Done. Let me go to the agenda. Number 5 is updates on roof project. So we had a introductory conversation. Alan and I had an introductory conversation, logistics and other elements Monday. And that was with RT Roofers, and we discussed various elements. They are coming here Tuesday, the 30th, I believe. Yes, Tuesday, the 30th. So if we had a quorum, we would have had to have posted that 48 hours in advance. And we couldn't do that. But for this meeting on Tuesday, the 30th at 11 a.m. here in the clubhouse, if all the board is available, we would like that to come. We talked about the white fascia, that is included.
Example.
What's that? We can hear you, Alan.
Yeah, they're going to bring samples of the white fascia. They're going to bring samples of shingles, the shingle book. They're going to bring also a sample of the scoppers that are the new ones. They're going to be put in the roof. Basically, it's not going to be what they bring exactly, but it's the exact material, which is has already built in the TPO around it. So it's all within the same system.
11 a.m. you said on Tuesday the 30th.
Yes.
There's something that caught my attention here when on that email. I really was a little shocked about learning that the materials you send to the contractor is still not updated or still with a greater mistakes on the specification. I know that, Diana, you were working with
I sent what the engineer sent us.
yeah, but we needed to check, and I think the process of checking, or at least talk around among us to understand exactly what happened, didn't happen, and we still actually postponing that sort of a conversation because we haven't have all the queries. I hope that next week we're gonna have it with the contractor directly, but all the things that related to the roof mansard, especially the finishes, are not taken in consideration, and that's what caught my attention. You say that you already talk about the materials and the fascia and so forth and so on, but when I actually do on the drawing, even though I actually draw the detail for the engineer to spec the drawing, I came out and I got shocked because that engineer perhaps didn't understand the information and flattened it up as much existing. So what that means that we're going to have exactly the same result, the same material with the same drop fascia with the same shingle material. Is that what we really want?
No,
because
no, it's
okay,
not.
so that is a big mistake, and we send that directly to John, and when he opens and read it, he will understand, because even the detail that I draw, it was completely, overridden and completely, scratched all the detailed information. And I say, well, so we still working since January on this, and we put the RSP and all this information, and all of a sudden nobody reads it. So
there was a lot of time where you are the, I would say, you are the resident expert when it comes to this process, and there were multiple weeks where we were requesting information from you.
Yeah, but
I did not get that.
Yeah, Robert, but the thing is that the process of back and forth and switching, to trying to double, like understand and making sure that the process is correct, because we actually, look for an engineer to redo the scope of work to make sure that everything was right. And it happens that it wasn't. And for me, that was something that I say, okay, if they are not able to understand based on their knowledge, on their level of reading, like specifications and drawing. So I actually looking at it and I say, well, we are repeating on this, and I don't know exactly if this is.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Alfredo.
What I'm trying to say,
let me ask you.
Alan,
are
what
you
I'm
saying
trying to say is that the documents that Robert sent to John, they are referring and they are call out for match existing. So there are no contemplation on fascia. I can probably highlight. I would show and print out from the document that you sent.
So we gave him the last round 24 hours to make the edits. So it was very tight.
Well, you gave me that and I actually did it and I thought it was, like the thing to follow. And I took the time to
But
draw,
when I looked at
but
it, the other members of the board didn't agree.
No, but I think who you didn't agree.
Quite a few folks didn't agree that like the specs of the shingles, for example, needed to be written that way. So because there was disagreement among the board, he's like, I'm going to put to be aligned with board. Because we left it in a nebulous situation.
Okay, well,
So
that.
kind of disagreement, I
Okay,
don't want
but
to share that with
no,
them.
but Diana, the shingle wasn't only the.
It sounds like there was some
It
other
was
part.
everything. So when I saw my details, information completely discredited and completely, deleted, I say, there's something going on here because you are an engineer, but you are not in the field, and they are not expert, and they are not in the field, and they are not understanding. And if I actually been putting all this amount of time and hours to make sure that all the details are gonna be passed to the contractor in a way that he understands, so please, we need to be aligned and at the same time. No matter what no matter what the shingle, because I know that you have an issue with the shingle, and I'm pretty sure. Well, but I mean, last time you
understand his budget.
Robert, but I understand budget as well, but I understand something that you guys are not trying to understand, that we can tell the contractor how to work for us. No, the contractor work the way he wanted and give us whatever he wants. So if you are, okay, if you are going to do your renovation, you're gonna make sure that you tell the contractor your vision. Okay, this is what we envision, and we want to provide all the opportunities or all the options for me to be satisfied for what we have with the budget I have. So right now, what I see is that we're going back to square one, and that it's something that I don't think that we should actually contemplate in this capital improvement, because this is not an emergency something. This is a capital improvement because we're investing a lot of money. This is not 700,000. This is 1.2. And that needs to be reflected, because everyone is going to look at that and say, oh, well, at least they did some detail. And that is not on your alley. It's not on Alan's alley. It's not on Joao's alley. And so for that reason, I've been doing this exercise for many years, and I don't comprehend why we are going to flatten everything, because there's so many options. You know what
Alfredo,
Yeah,
can you
but
allow
know
other
what?
people to speak?
But
Alfredo, can you allow other people?
This is the legal part. I'm sorry, Alan. This is the legal part. The specification part is something different. That is a different venue. I actually even contact the provider again, because those prices, we never get any price tag for shingles from John RT, even on the proposal, which is something that I still unknown. And I need to understand, because if I'm actually the client and I want something more upscale, I really wanted to work and want to make it work. So I actually contact the manufacturer and say, we are going to see the materials, we are going to see the price, we're going to purchase from him, but give us the price. And that's exactly what we need to work. Not to, okay, well, let's do it a standard because we don't have a budget. Of course, we're going to measure, but let's make it happen. Let's make that idea to crystallize in a way that the contractor can help us, not flatten things up, because I don't think this is the right way to go. My personal opinion.
I agree with that statement. I think it's fine. I think ultimately he had 24 hours to finish. We needed something to give to the contractor as soon as possible. And in an 80 for the 20 situation, 80% of that content maybe is in a good place. And that last 20%, to your point, maybe are those details. Maybe the fascia wasn't clear, maybe the shingles weren't clear.
The system is clear. The main point here, which is the flat roof, which is the most important part, is already done deal. The most important part is the exterior of the mansard, which is the aesthetic aspect.
Okay, Alfredo, can you please, we got your point. It's not as you say. I actually like your design. I never opposed it. And just so you know, even in the meeting, it's not only the white fascia, even the cap would be white. Every element would be according to, if I'm not mistaken, you meant that
no,
also
it's
the
not
cap
white,
would be
it's
white.
bronze. It's bronze, it's not white.
So the cap, so hold on, wait, hold on, please allow me to finish. I as you said before, I'm not an expert in the visual part, and I have no problem at all. And even the builder said, you guys tell me whatever color you want. It's the same price. We don't care. We don't care. They don't care. They just want to do the work. So let's be more proactive.
Right?
The only
And
price that is
Al-
more expensive, listen, the only thing that is more expensive is those shingles. That's the only thing that's more expensive. Regarding the metal part of the exterior fascia, it doesn't matter the color we choose as far as it's not black. Black is the only one that is an upcharge. The rest, if you want brown, if you want bronze, if we want,
But wrong is the color.
white.
That is color.
But let's make it our goal to leave on Tuesday with every single detail like that decided, right? And written down, most importantly, right? I want it to say fascia XYZ, detail XYZ.
Yeah,
written.
but I mean, on the matter of the shingle, we need to actually understand
What you talking about?
why we have no access, or we are basically, deprived of getting that material. I don't think that there's so much different from the comparison that we did from 2022. It was $10,000. It's gonna be $50,000 for the 5 buildings. So it really,
Alfredo, if that's the case, if that's the case, I will be with you. I will be with you. But listen. I want on Tuesday to achieve as much as we can, and to get even those shingles included in the price. Trust me, I want that. Even though you think I don't, I do. Okay, but in order to help us achieve that, let's be proactive. And you just said that you called the company, so can you please send by email to Robert and to the rest of the board, so we can ask them ahead of time, before Tuesday, so we can ask them ahead of time, give us the price of this shingle or this shingle, okay? So we have it in writing and we have that price. Now, please let me finish. You check with the manufacturer and see what's the price that we get. So on Tuesday, we can compare what price he gives us and what price we're getting from the manufacturer. But we need to be prepared and already have all that information. So if you really want this to happen, and that is so important to you, please, I'm asking
it's not only important for me, Alan, and I'm
for
only just
everybody,
making
for
clear
everybody.
because
Okay.
for everybody, but I just want to make clear something. We have 1 month for preparation, and we are actually holding and basically massage all these questionnaire. And this is the time the RT should be proactively looking for the material, because they are the ones that have their own reps that supply the material. So where are the options that we have alternate? All the options besides certainty, we don't see it right now. I hope I can see it on Tuesday, and I hope they can give us a very comprehensive comparison for what you call dimensional shingle, because that it's not dimensional shingle. So that's exactly what my point is.
Alfredo, they are bringing the book of that same manufacturer, but it's one grade down. It's the same amount of warranty on it, of manufacturer warranty. So let's, and it's very important that on that meeting, we lower the tone. We try to work with them as our partners.
That is completely not to this case. So don't bring that out, because I already know exactly how to approach.
Being cooperative, I think, is the point. My point is, I want to leave that meeting so that they can do exactly what you're saying and move forward, acquiring the material, figuring out the permits.
Yes.
We can hopefully sign the contract, and the contract is very clear, and we can move forward.
I got the first estimate for almost $20,000 for 60 square feet, which is equivalent to 2 buildings, building 2 and building 3. So thinking that this price, it's like $10,000 per building. So I don't know what is going to be the price increase from that invoice, which was December 22 to now, July, August 24. Tomorrow, I will follow up, because I actually sent an email on Monday. So they are actually working on that, and they are going to update the same specs. So I don't think it should be double and it should be something crazy like we have from R&Y, that it was like a $200,000. I don't believe that. So if we can procure that material ourselves, or we can work with the manufacturer and the contractor to provide it, from that, because the manufacturer is with us and he can help us out. Actually, the material is already on stock. So I'm gonna bring that.
That's no
information
problem. That's no problem. So call them.
and
So call
get
them
ready
and
before
provide.
Tuesday.
Alfredo, so please provide it as soon as possible, please. Okay. And we are with you on that. We want to achieve that, but let's do that exercise so we have the price of that and the price of a 3D that looks 3D, but it's not real 3D. Give us both of the prices so we see the difference and we can measure the difference for the whole project.
They have two
Does it
options.
make
They
sense?
have the how do you call, the high standard or the class A, which is the thicker, which is the presidential TL, which is the thicker one, and they have the normal one, which is less expensive, and it's actually somewhere up there. So they are going to work, because even the previous board, they were spec on the normal shingle, that less expensive. So let's see what they're gonna come, and we'll discuss.
Okay, but from your side, come with the prices for both of them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have an idea.
Does
So
it
that they can't,
make-
pull the wool over our eyes, so we
And we
know.
don't give it to them there. We also ask at that point, what are the price differences between the two? And I can send an email in advance to them to
to
prepare
have
them
those
to have that information.
What I really want for this exercise is the contractor to provide us, because they have their people and they can actually,
They get cheaper.
procure cheaper.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have our price, because I know that this price was guaranteed from the manufacturer, and we can compare the two. But
But what we're saying is we need to get it from both sides. So we need to ask him, but we also check with the manufacturer directly and let's see what price he gives us so we can compare apples to apples. Maybe the guy is giving us a price that is 20% more than what we're getting directly from the manufacturer. And then we're going to raise the flag and say, hey, listen, we get it for 20% cheaper. So you know what? Let's go with let's go direct. So
that's
this
exactly
is why
the way I wanted to go about this, and I'm glad that you guys are all on the same page.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Tuesday,
Okay.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. And I'll
Yeah.
also,
If that's
do you guys like meeting invites or no?
I prefer it, because then I can put it on my calendar, if that's possible, that'd be great. And by the way, that same, what we just talked about for the shingle, if that's true of any other materials, I don't know the details of, right? If that's true of fascia border, I feel like we should do something similar too. We should know what we want, so that if they bring something, it's not just, I hate all of it.
It's just a color chart, because the metal is gonna be exactly the
Exactly.
same. It's gonna be, choose the color.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now, there was one thing that we discussed that they actually offered, which we thought it's fair and makes sense regarding the payments. Okay. So regarding the payments, they offer to divide it by section by building, meaning that first we pay 10%, which for them is to order material and so on. Then once, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, then once the work starts, it's 40% from the building and not from the whole work. Meaning that if they're doing the flat roof on building 2, 40% from the amount of the flat roof section of roof number 2. And then when they finish,
But then you have
the flat roof,
stages,
Yeah.
you pay as you go.
So if they do half of building 2, they get paid for half of building 2?
Well, the contractor, the way that we lay out the contract, it says that we are going to have this work for about 6 months, and that's exactly how it reads on the term. So for every month, the contractor need to provide the schedule of values. So that means that for the months that he's gonna try to work, he needs to produce a program, and from that program, they can actually put all the percentage that he's going to, like add to
Milestones.
the milestone, exactly. So,
But that way but if
But,
we go with that system, we are paying ahead of time for things that they didn't do.
no, we're actually paying less. We're paying less. And if we are not actually going with the bond, I don't know exactly how you guys left the terms with the bonding. So we're gonna discuss to be lower because they want 40% at the beginning. And I don't think that this is something that I probably will, or many other people will feel comfortable with. So,
but what I'm saying is not, but it's not 40%. It's not 40%. And you're not listening to what we're saying. You're not listening to what we're saying. I'm trying to explain and nobody's listening.
So let me explain. So initially there was the thought that it would be 10% upfront. Materials, permits, things like that. Then 40%, and then 40%, and then 10%. What they were saying was that doesn't make sense to them because we would be paying far in advance of any work that they're doing. They're like, you don't want that. What they are saying is 10% of the overall project. Let's just call it $100,000, just to be easy. $100,000 we pay up front. Then at each step, if they're working on building 2, then we pay 40% of building 2 cost. Then they finish building 2, then we pay the next.
No, they need to provide the schedule of value. So that's exactly what we don't see. So
no, but I understand that. But you said there we have to pay 40% upfront.
Well, that's what they were actually intended from the very beginning.
So
and that's exactly what we lay out.
What they said was that doesn't make sense for you guys. That's not going to happen.
You're saying that
Step by step, paying as
less
they go.
upfront. But I get
That's exactly what it
is.
is.
Write it down for us, which I think they
Yeah,
did.
that's-
It is. Yeah, it is. And by the way, in their proposal, for each building, it's divided into 2 sections, the flat roof and the mansard. So even within a building, it's divided into 2 sections. So if the flat roof section of building 2 is, for the sake of argument, $100,000, then we paying, well, the 10% is overall. The 10%, yes, that includes, if I'm not mistaken, he said it's the 10% is from the overall project.
Correct.
But then the 40% is from only the flat section of roof number 2. When the flat roof ends, then we pay the other 40% and 10%. Then he moves to the mansards. Then the same idea, we pay 40% from the value of mansard of building number 2, only number 2, and so on. So that is the idea, and that divides into
We're talking
sections.
hypothetically. We need to see exactly what
I'm
is
not
the
talking
schedule.
hypothetically. This is
The
what
work
it is.
schedule is important, and he needs to tell us what he's gonna do in month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, and up to month 6. So until we understand exactly what he's going to achieve in every month, so we can lay down what we actually have on our contract, because I believe that these have to be, followed with a PM. So we need to have our retainage, and we need to actually have, somebody who needs to check all the goals that they actually set on every month, of course, to make it accountable, because how can we gonna measure?
To say, oh, first 2 weeks you'll have finished building 2, for example. Great, that's when you'll get paid X amount of dollars. So it'll make it really easy to overlay the cost schedule on top of the literal project.
But the PM is the one that checks if the work is done, if it's not. So we are subtracting 10% of that amount every payment in order for us to secure that we have some retainage, and we are not going to leave everything at once. So are you guys follow up what the lawyer says?
Here Tuesday, and we can have this conversation. I think how we present different things to them is they are our partners, and we are their partner, and we are in this together. That doesn't mean we just take what they say, but how we communicate is as important as what we communicate. And so that's where we need to be appropriate in that conversation.
But if they are working with the standards contract of the AIA, they must understand and they must know how everything works with the schedule of values. So they need to provide the work schedule, how gonna be the payments, and they need to actually submit all the materials, schedule and all that.
So do us a favor and write what your outcomes are desired for that Tuesday meeting in advance of that.
I already did. I already sent everything that I needed to actually set.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, then we'll go by that.
Do you have a compile on all the questions?
What do you mean?
All the questions that we've been collecting from, like day one, when we started all putting all these things together, it clearly says that the contractor should, at the moment of the notice of commencement, they need to provide work schedule, because everybody needs to understand when he's gonna come and when he's gonna finish every month, how he's gonna do, and the material.
I said the 101, whatever. I said there's still dates that need to be filled in here. There's elements that was, because those are to be determined. So we need to sit down with them to say, we can't say 6 months from the time that we created day 101.
You need to consider that there's a 1 month mobilization. So before
Right, so
we actually sign the contract,
to
it's a month
simplify and
before.
consolidate
Yeah.
all the different emails, will you write one email to say what your outcome is that you desire for this?
No, don't put more work on me, because I already did a lot, so you just go back on the email. I can probably, like highlight all the comments that I say, because it's fairly easy.
I think they fall in buckets, right? So
Yeah.
there's material specs,
Exactly.
there's the
Two three important
timeline.
things, the timeline, which is the work schedule. We need to understand what it is, and the PM must follow, because that's gonna be the guide for him to check that every month, even though the weather permits, so he needs to understand, what he did in every month, and we have a peace of mind that that guy is checking, and he can issue the checks based on the work accomplished for that time, and that's what he works on, the general construction. So
Okay, so timeline is most important.
it's the most important, yeah,
Okay.
work
That's
schedule.
our outcome for the meeting.
Yes, and that's what he needs to provide
okay, now,
after he signed the
yeah.
contract.
project manager, that's something we need to get on really, really fast. We need to get on this. We need a project manager, and we don't have one.
So oftentimes engineer and project manager are one person, because obviously a project manager that has technical understanding is the ideal case. So we had posed the option of using the engineer in this situation. He is a special inspector, he does this
He's certified, right?
certified,
So-
he's got all the licenses, he's done this for, he's almost 60 years old, so he's done this for 40+ years. So he was amenable to it, but I don't know if other board members would like to get other quotes from other engineers / project managers.
Well, he's been involved with this, like a scope of work, so it might as well asking, it to produce or
He
to
can
do the
provide
proposal.
a quote.
A quote, yes.
Yeah.
I think we should get a couple quotes,
What I
but,
So
for
I'll
sure.
follow up with him
Yeah.
specifically, and I think Alan had another gentleman that he was looking at. So we can get a quote from that, compare. That's two. Do we want to try to get a third from somewhere?
I will try to, it happens to be that on the building that Vanessa works now, they actually yesterday did a whole interviews for like 4 or 5 project managers. They've gone through major renovations. So I can ask for a few numbers from what they're all evaluating. Their project is much bigger than what we have. But yeah, I'll ask.
And I say this as a fellow project manager, I don't want to use a project manager. I want to use an engineer that works as a project manager. So
He has to be
your
a certified
question, it
engineer,
needs to be a
yeah.
certified engineer,
Yeah.
and I prefer and I set this expectation out too when I looked. I prefer someone who's a special inspector, because what happens when you're a special inspector, the city will delegate the ability to approve, even with permitting, to the engineer that's on the project. So that means the city won't need to be here as constantly or whatever. It's correlated to the city as well. So it'd be great if they were special inspector and engineer as well as project manager, obviously.
yeah, there's there's a dual-edged sword with engineers, right? You know,
Yes, yes, exactly.
and that's where we need the balance of
Yeah, they need to be looking out for us as well as the technical requirements.
not building Fort Knox, but also not building a straw
Correct,
hut.
but still, yeah, sticking by all the codes, what's required, right?
But at the end of the day,
35.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Alan.
yeah, I mean, I'm not against having an engineer, but we had really bad experience with an engineer. And at the end of the day, the city inspectors, they come pretty quick. They do the inspection, and what they say is what counts. So, I mean, having a good project manager with reputation.
Jay
This
left a
cost
really bad
effective.
taste in my mouth. I really don't want to repeat a Jay situation. Like
Yes.
that is one of the worst. project
And we need to
management
have somebody who is accountable, Alan. So we cannot actually hire someone here that comes because they needs to actually check and observe everything that is happening on the construction. He needs to actually certify the payments, and for that reason, he needs to be certified. And that for us, it's a paramount.
My worry is because of the Mansard situation and because this roofer is
Yeah.
not a general contractor, I feel like we really need that technical experience
Yeah.
somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a
Another
question?
thing that was mentioned in the meeting, by the way,
Hold on,
another
Alan.
thing,
Go ahead, Alan.
okay, another thing that was mentioned, and they already started working on it, is getting in touch with the city of North Miami Beach regarding the permits, because that is something that can cause delay, because we not only changing contractors, which that normally is not a big deal, but we are changing the whole flat roof system, and that so right now they're checking if it makes sense to do completely from scratch permits or change the NOAs and changing the contractor.
That's exactly what's
So
gonna happen. Switching
I hope-
contractor is not difficult. Changing the NOA might be, but they actually have the ability of do so. So I don't think that it's going to be, something very, like hard to do.
The sooner they get on it, the better, right?
it's gonna
See,
be,
they
yeah,
convert something.
they're gonna have some answers on Tuesday,
They're looking into it.
and
Whether
they
the permits are still valid and getting all information and making sure how they approach that with North Miami Beach.
But just so you know, it's going to be very expensive because they price when I did, because I did it myself. I did change of contractors and change of NOA, and it was just for the windows that I did, and they charged me like double. Basically, I paid twice for permits. They calculate again the value of the job, and they charge you accordingly.
Incredibly frustrating. Sounds like the city. Manuela, I think I had to say something.
Suggested before the meeting of Tuesday, maybe to avoid, because I know that sometimes we have a lot of emails, different subjects, to don't happen what happens at the end of the contract. If there is main bullets to end suggested for the contract, just one email, just with this topic. Because there is several topics in the same email, and then people are going to say that maybe we have to say, we have this problem with addenda, we wait for a long for the notice for the addenda, and we are running against time.
Right.
The positive way, just a small email, what is the main goal, it's just for that, to avoid back and forward, and people maybe can be available. Just a small email, what is the main topics for the Tuesday meeting?
I agree. So that is the roofing update. You good?
Tuesday to sign the contract, is that right?
Tuesday, we're gonna get all the answers, hopefully, it sounds like related to material specifications.
Realistically, we're not signing on Tuesday. That information that we agree on Tuesday then gets put into the contract and then is signed.
Week after that.
I think that's realistic.
Depending on the material lead time, right?
I think permits is the bigger thing. I think material is.
Rule of thumb is a month for mobilization, but RT say that they can do it, like less. But we actually, like set 1 month for mobilization after we sign the contract, and then the 6 months,
They-
like.
They actually were not worried about starting time. They were ready. They saying, listen, we're ready to go, but they were more. They sounded very concerned about the permits.
The permits is the bigger issue right
That
now.
sounds like.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then I think the priority is building
Building
2, then
two
3.
Which
I don't
is,
know.
mine is building started building two.
Yeah.
Okay, so early September probably is when they get started. Did they say like a timeline in terms of how long it takes per building or no?
That's what
That's what
I
we're
looked
going to
at.
determine on Tuesday.
But
based on the
also,
work scale that they have to
whatever,
provide.
but whatever timeline they say, you need to take in consideration that this is hurricane season. So any day that there's rain, they cannot work. So if there's 4 days of rain, it's 4 days that they're not working.
Yeah, it's like a day for day delay.
Short is.
I know,
We have a
that's-
month, I think, so,
Yeah.
We're in hurricane season, yeah.
okay.
This is a 3 to 4 months job, because this is not a big complex. So we're estimating 6 months at the most, and this was the media that we actually, like extract from all the contractors. So this is a 3 months job, but we double it in case of if weather permits. No, first, I think that they are going to attack the flat roof, which is the most important, to seal everything and not have any problem. And after that, they want to work with the mansard.
Just because there were areas in the mansards, like when they removed the mansards, that had little holes that then led to leakage inside. So even if the flat top is completed, I'm gonna wait until the mansards are done, or it's sealed. Maybe they don't have to be visually beautiful.
And so the other question is, so they get, and then the manager right after that, so like one building's completely done, both? Or is it-
I hope that's the case.
I think that's a good question for Tuesday.
I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat the question?
Are they doing the flat roof? Let's just talk about building 2. Are they doing the flat roof on building 2 and then the mansard on building 2? Or are they doing the flat roof on 2 and then 3 and then mansards on 2 and 3?
Yeah, that's a good question for Tuesday. I think they're gonna first do the flat roofs on both. I think they're gonna do flat roofs on both, because they, removing the old roof creates a lot of mess, a lot of debris that they don't want to have it on the new shingles. So
Yeah, that's exactly the.
By definition, we will not be doing we will not be doing a Zoom session for that Tuesday meeting, but by definition, if we have a quorum of thing, that becomes an open meeting. So, yes.
I'll probably wait until we can start on your repairs, so right, it's gonna be the drywall gonna be done by the HOA, right?
Correct.
So then we'll just do it at the same time.
I'm personally gonna wait just for my security. I don't wanna have to redo. It's not gonna be wet, right?
Are we gonna get the place like checked off, everything's waterproof and we're good? Is there like a?
I assume there's inspections following every part of the process, right? The city does
All
inspection.
different units.
Yeah, we'll touch base.
Mine though.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. It's all everything about the roof, right?
Yes.
Yeah, next point is these materials that doesn't really,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's good enough. Thank you though, appreciate it.
Thank you.
thank you, Ron.
Thank you for coming.
For the record, Joao has entered the meeting. Good to see you, Joao. I did a horrible job on presenting your treasurer's report. I forgive you, or please forgive me.
Are we going back to that?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, yes, real quick, because there was a point of clarification that Alfredo did make in terms of the trees. It is not 2 times $5,000. It is 1 time $5,000, but that's because there has been not maintenance done on those trees for a long time, so it was more than it normally is. In the future, it won't be that much.
Yeah, what happened was that they need to actually cut all these oak tree, because the oak tree the one that is on the unit 13 and the other one that is on unit 11 are really long and they were really messy. And those are really prone to fall off on the hurricane season. The mango tree was overlapping on the mansard, and the canopy of the podocarpus, which is already a huge tree on Maria, they needed to actually reseed it because they need to take it out from the mansard when the contractor, started. So those two things weren't contemplated, and I was actually, making like a step forward on that and tell the contractor, we need to clear it up because we actually have a work to be done on the roofs. So he cleared it up, he conditioned everything, and actually the coconut tree, there's no maintenance for the coconut tree per se in this community. There was a group of people that were collecting the coconuts and they were taking it for their own business. But it happens that they were only taking the ones that they were more, interested, and the rest, it was hanging. So that's why we had the problem. And it was even worse because they were really messy. I talked to them several times, trying to get a deal with them, but they become, they're really messy and they didn't care. So this guy is committed to do the maintenance 2 times a year for the coconut tree, and the charge for those are 26 plants. 11 are on the dock area, which are the most difficult to reach. And those are going to cost, as I said on the email, $60, $10 more from the ones that are here and from. So for that will be $4,500, which is the general tree trimming, annual tree trimming. But we need to have another trimming for only the coconut tree to get all the fruits, the stems, and the flowers.
That's 6 months later.
Exactly, that is 6 months later, because that actually, get fruits every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying for Joe.
Thank you so much for this. My concern is for the future, if we can have just also takes 2 other more, because for example, I remember when I was in the board, it was one budget and we received $2,600, and I don't know if those were the people that took out the coconuts to sell or whatever.
No, they're coming in for free. They're not even vendors of our community.
So if we could contact like 1 or 2 other companies, I think.
Well, we have Daypam, which is the one that did the job, and he did it for like 2 years in a row, and the job really wasn't really, like the best, to the point that we actually end up having a more difficult task to do because the tree wasn't really maintenance. And I think that for what we pay and for the job that we actually have, because, it wasn't me, and I was telling, I'm not interested on anything, just everybody is happy. I'm really happy. And I have compliment from all the unit owners that they say they see a professional job. And for me, it's something that it cuts. If you can find another quotation, because we already have Day as a comparison, it was $3,500, but I'm pretty much sure that to this year, it will be around $4,000 easily. So 45, okay.
Just everything that is a little bit more expensive out there.
But it's within your budget because you were calculating between 5 to 6K, and that is per year, and this is going to be 5,800.
So right now we're all going to pay more 200 the 6 months when they come back.
No, because remember that it's 45. Well, right now we actually pay 5,000 because of the extra drop that we did on the canopy. But in the future, for next year, if we actually hire this vendor, it's going to be 4,500 plus the second part of the coconut tree, which is going to be $1,360.
So in 2025, we will pay 5,000.
It's going to be $5,860. So that's exactly what it is.
I guess you do it in January, maybe?
In January, yeah.
And do
You
July.
can schedule in January.
That was more clear.
We discussed the other points. So in 5, there's a difference of $1,000.
Sorry.
Yes. So they need to clarify, are we gonna pay the invoice of 39? I know
Yeah.
it's a bit complicated. 5, take that from the invoice, which is ridiculous. So we are waiting for that. The Primex management, the ton of these costs are from 2023. just send us a message like we are now on their arrears, etc. They are arrears from 2023, but we need to decide if we're gonna pay them or not. And I would like to have an answer from Luis Mondandairo to tell, okay, I have all the information and then we pay payments, so I'm playing with them. And then the improved fire alarms, I don't know if we have decided.
Yeah, we already make a decision because I already explained exactly what it was.
Okay, let's move. What's next?
Number 6, I think.
Roofing materials outside.
Yeah, well, I actually have the chance to talk with one of the contractors who, by the way, he bid on this project. His name is Mark Cameron. He's actually a family of Octavio and Carla. He owns a company called A-Star Roofing. He came here 3 weeks ago and he assessed the material. And he, said to me that he will be only interesting and the only value that we have on these rubbish materials, it's only the rolls, the PVC rolls. This is the only valuable, matters that we have. He actually mentioned that the cementitious board is completely, like trash. So it shows, the cementitious board, the one on the racks.
Yeah,
So
I know what it is, but why
flexure,
trash?
He have moldu and he have a lot of cracks, and he's an engineer. He said this material is better to trash for the labor intense, because if I purchase everything that I need to do in order to take this out, it's not going to be worth it. So he said, you can trust the cementitious board, you can trust the yellow insulation. It's all completely rotten. So for the foam, he said, this is already custom cut for our buildings. And this is particular for buildings done in concrete. So he basically works in wood and metal roofing. So for this, he doesn't actually work for his purpose, because the insulation value of these materials are completely low from what he uses. So I say, for me, it's not worth it, so I cannot actually purchase. But you can sell it somewhere else and see if we can.
Can I ask a question? So when Duralast came here, they said it's all good.
It was certified, and we have the letter that it was good.
Why wouldn't they take it back?
Why? I can tell you why they're not going to take it back. Why would they?
RNY, exactly.
Yeah, that's wild.
No, but I mean, all the contractors that came afterwards, they say, except R&D, they rather to work with a different material. And that's exactly the reason that we actually choose a TPO, because they were feeling insecure, even though I have the letters certified from Duralax and from all the sister companies, they cannot guarantee.
Listen, guys, the reason nobody's going to buy it from us, okay? The only person that can buy those Duralast rolls, it's a contractor that does the roof without permits and gives his own warranty, because Duralast is not gonna warranty. It's not gonna give the warranty on this material on another job, because they lose money if they do. They just lose money. If I was Duralast, I would not take it back, and I would not allow anybody to use it on a different project. And any roofer will not. Any serious roofer will not buy this material, period.
Okay, well,
it's also
Mark told me that he will put an offer, and he actually say, I will give you $100 per roll. And we have 3 crates and 10 rolls per crate. It will be about $3,000.
So take it and
okay,
run with it.
well, I mean,
eBay, you're saying, eBay.
well, Alan was taking pictures, to put it on eBay. Did you put it on eBay?
I put on eBay just the cement boards.
The only thing that he said that is worth to put it on the market is the foam, the styrofoam, not the insulation, the yellow insulation, nor the cementitious board. And yeah, this is the styrofoam and the PVC, which is the most expensive material.
So the only thing I put on eBay is the cement board, because after that I've been told not to.
No, it was designed. It was designed per blocks. But this is going to be for a contractor is doing concrete roof, no metal, no wood.
So,
Just to be clear, we say we have plans so from here, instead of just throwing your money, it might somebody come here and give us something.
if Alan knows how to do that and knows how to operate eBay, I say try it, to Joe's point. Let's put a timeline limit, so this isn't continually sitting there.
Okay, well, the thing is, how long do we want to wait to keep these materials, like holding, sitting, and,
1 month before construction starts on our roofs.
Because we need this space probably for
1
materials.
month? Okay, so what about the other material that is going to be trash?
What material is gonna be?
The yellow insulation, nobody's gonna buy it because he say that it's completely, like.
No,
rotten.
but, I mean,
The yellow.
they say it's all trash, but if someone,
Using for all of it. on eBay.
yeah. Offer up,
You want to bring these, you don't have to sell it all together, come and pick up whatever you want.
But imagine if somebody's picking up, one by one. Either you put a condition, like one lump sum, and you get it out, because otherwise we're gonna be here forever, trying to sell the product.
You're saying as much as
As much
possible.
as possible. And if they say, I'm gonna buy one, okay, we say no.
No, thank you.
But we're not gonna force anybody that comes here to take everything. because-
Can we assign someone to, it
Yeah.
sounds like Alan, I don't wanna assign you.
Yeah, he already
Are you
started on it.
comfortable with that? Is that okay, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I can post eBay, I'm posting it on eBay.
Yeah, 3
I-
pictures.
on eBay, I think-
Materials, and then that's
I
it.
think I posted it on eBay, and also I would post it on Craigslist. These are the places where contractors look. for
Perfect,
like
but you
used
haven't
stuff.
heard anything back? You haven't heard
No,
anything back?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything regarding the,
Okay, so I
the-
say, to
what I
your point,
posted.
maybe let's say today is the 24th of July, do we do until August 24th, give a month, or the end of August?
end of August.
Okay, so end of August, we'll make the call, if nothing has moved, then we go ahead and proceed with Mark, what's his name, the gentleman?
For the PVC.
Just for the
only.
PVC,
But
correct.
what about that? Because we need to have a plan B for this. If we don't have any
Any buyers?
potential buyers, so
We gotta
then
scrap
we
it.
need to dispose that, and that's gonna be costing, because
Yeah.
that needs to be hauled with the crate, with the
Well, and you
forklift.
can't just dispose of it anywhere, right, you have to.
No, you have to
Yeah,
actually
very
go
specific.
to the landfill.
guys, what I would
Very
do,
costly.
listen, what I would do is the person that gave you the offer, Alfredo, tell him, I would do this. I would tell him, we take it, but only if you take everything. We don't care if the rest you throw to the garbage, but you leave us the whole place clear. Because what's gonna happen, and telling you also as a professional mentalist here, okay? That we're gonna wait, nothing is gonna sell, and then at the end, we're gonna spend money to remove it from the parking lot.
Alan, I went to that road, okay? So you're not the only one that do business. I went to that road and he say no, because it takes too much, time and effort and money, because they need to actually bring a forklift and.
I get what you're saying, like, you're saying like, if someone even bought one piece of it, like the PVC that he offered, he doesn't wanna get rid of the rest of it because it's gonna cost, he's gonna end up losing money on that deal. Well, I
No,
guess.
but Alfredo, if he's
No,
if
he's
he's-
not
if
gonna,
he's
he's not gonna, he's not gonna get into that deal. He actually say, you can trash that because it is not worth it for me to take it out.
I know, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, how is he going to take the rolls? He needs a forklift for the rolls.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good question, but I don't know exactly if he's going to take it one by one by hand with 2 guys on a truck, or is it gonna use a forklift? I didn't get to those details, but
Okay, so
he
I
said
would
that
ask,
it's gonna be more costly for him.
I would ask that question, and maybe if it's the difference between hiring a smaller truck and a bigger truck, then maybe we can pay that difference, but have the same people that are already taking the rolls to already take everything out from the parking lot, like to try to take that, and let them go and get rid of it.
But Alan, if they don't need it and they need to get rid of it, so there is a price to pay for it. So who's gonna pay? Do you think that they're gonna give us
Okay,
a bill
but-
and then pay for that?
But listen, but those rolls cost much more than $100 a piece. much more than that, and he knows that. So that, that's our counter offer. He wants 100, you can say, no, we'll sell it for 200. Instead of saying we're selling it for 200, say, okay, we're selling it for 100, but get rid of the rest for us with the same guys that are coming to pick it up.
We can try that. It sounds like you suspect that he'll say, no, thank you, bye. But we can try it, I guess. We can have that conversation. My only question was, do we want to have that conversation now? Or do we want to wait to Zhao's point to see what eBay or whatever offers?
A couple of weeks, at least 3 weeks, anyway, at least, let's see if somebody appears in Florida.
So maybe in 2 meetings, in 2 weeks, let's touch base on this again, see if we've got any traction on eBay. If no, then maybe we go ahead with this gentleman, Mark, see if we can proceed. But either way, I think we're all agreed we gotta get it out of here before our project starts. Great.
Okay, that takes care of that. Number 7, maintenance updates.
I think that it's already, part of it is already done, the tree trimming that you already see, you already saw, people are happy. Another improvement we did, we paint the roll-up door on the dumpster, the big door. So we paint that. We actually fixed the windows because the bracket, the hardware, the rollings were all deteriorated. So Carlos has to buy the new pieces, put it back, install it, and now they are easy to slide and also paint the frames. Last Saturday he painted the mailboxes, and he actually did, okay job, but he did it. He completed both this side and the side on the back. And next Saturday, we're planning to do painting on the path where all the utilities are, and identify with the colors all the piping, because we have water piping, the natural, how do you say, the potable, the drinkable water, and the one for irrigation. We're gonna paint the bowlers, because the bowler has already a lot of the scratches. You know what the bowlers are, right? No idea.
The what?
The bowlers
The what?
are, like the fence that you put on the side, on the curb, or car not to park, bowlers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How do you call it?
Just so cars don't get into the.
Yeah, and where the fire hydrant is.
Those
there's
concrete poles.
There's some metal poles and the fire hydrant. So that
Okay,
is
yeah.
going to be paint.
Okay.
And the decking.
Regarding maintenance, we need to look behind my unit, especially between my unit and Maria's unit, and that is something recurring. There's a huge sinkhole right against the seawall that is more than 2 feet deep, and behind my unit, right where there's the walkway, or where all the little stones, there are a lot of holes, not only made by the crabs, but also, when it rains a lot, it just percolates, and we need to make sure not only to cover it, but also that it's not affecting the integrity of the seawall, because when the king tide comes, the water goes up through those holes as well. Excuse
When
me?
did you report that? Because I haven't seen the pictures and
I did not. I'm reporting it right now.
Oh, okay. Well, if you take the pictures and you highlight, so is this something that Carlos can help, or this is something that we need to find somebody?
So Carlos can help temporarily to put like little gravel and cover and condense it, but it's not. But that is a very bad temporal solution. I think that it might be a good idea to bring a seawall expert to take a look at it, and to see the condition and recommend if there is a better solution. Because what I'm afraid, we can always cover it and let it go for a few months, and then we have to cover again, but that doesn't ever stop. So I just want to make sure that we are not hurting that in the future, when it's not going to be like a bigger problem that we are creating right now with the seawall that's going to cost us an arm and a leg.
Alan, how bad it is? It is so bad that people cannot walk, and it's going to be a trip hazard? What is it?
Well, yeah, between me and Maria, people don't walk on that exactly section, but a child, yes, you know, you step there, you break your leg. I mean,
Okay,
there's no
well,
doubt.
that's very important.
And right behind, you know, my unit, there are very big holes.
Shall
Very
we
big
put a
holes.
cone? Shall we actually help you to put cones or yellow tape in the meantime?
I don't think that you know, in the back of my unit, you can still walk, so that's fine. But where Maria is, between me and Maria, you're gonna see the very big hole. Again, the solution, in my opinion, would be to, but I'm not an expert, and this is why I was recommending to bring somebody, is to pour some concrete, also especially in the walkway, to pour concrete all over that, so the crabs cannot make more holes. But it needs to be done professionally, and then if we want to do it nice, it has to be concrete, then sand, and then pavers. That would be the right thing to do. So I don't know if you want to take a look at it, Alfredo, or if we want to make a few phone calls to.
This Saturday, just we're gonna stop by. I'm gonna ask Carlos to see it and see if we can, you know, provide a solution from previous experience that he has done for similar situations that he encountered.
Well, what he always has done is put the tiny gravel, you know, the very small one. So maybe in that big hole and on those holes with the crabs, maybe that gravel can be mixed with some instant cement, you know, the fast dry, which is going to give it maybe a little bit more longevity. But it's temporary solution. It's not the real solution.
I had one thing for the maintenance loader on it, I don't know about this one, but the mailboxes, the roof thing, half of it is like not painted, some of it's not, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what,
And-
Well,
And then-
you know, the solution is demolition because this is already being, you know, like.
I heard that some, I think Laura told me that they had replaced it and it still got rotten, I don't know, it doesn't.
And another thing with maintenance, and this is something
We don't have canopy also, so if you take the canopy on.
But then I think the sides are concrete, so you're gonna have the sides and not a roof.
Yeah.
Sides are concrete.
Mhm.
The roof is the thing that's wood, and it seems like
Is it concrete?
the side,
The roof is nice. You can fix it.
maybe we could just fix the bottom and paint it, that'd be great, we need like a waterproof paint that'll not prevent.
I think the plywood in there has been exposed.
Yeah.
Probably used to
They
be.
didn't paint plywood way back when, and I got
Well,
rotten.
we can take a look to the.
Just take a look at it.
Okay, and another thing with maintenance, that everybody comes to my house makes a comments about it. The back of, especially Robert's and Joao's units, especially, you know, in the walls separating between them, and all those, you know, on the balconies. I'm talking about the balconies. It's all mold, ugly, black, looks horrible. That
Yeah.
needs to be cleaned, pressure washed very lightly, or painted. But that looks horrible. The whole, you know, we need to look at this, the back of the units and the balconies.
Or take a picture and then we can actually schedule a pressure cleaner.
No, yours is
I'm in
cool.
Canada. I'm in Canada. Taking
You painted.
pictures might be complicated.
You painted.
Yeah, well.
And by the way, Joao,
Talking about maintenance, we have to take the
Joao
machine.
painted.
paint it.
Joao, you need the right paint, because the color you use of your, not the color of the rest of the units.
We still have paint available in the room.
Yeah, mine looks horrible.
But maybe not the sense if we do that right now, or, because the thing is, when they take the roof off, stuff is gonna be flying. So I don't know if we do that immediately or wait. Tar they use, no matter what, even if they're incredibly careful, which I'm sure they will be, always little things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
on
if
the
contract-
bedroom, on the wall, I think, pressure cleaner would be.
I just hope that.
That can be.
We're looking for everything afterwards anyway, so it might be worth doing it all at once. And I agree with you guys. Yeah, I got the codes.
We need to service, by the way, that machine, the pressure cleaner, and I was scheduled with Carol, like, it's already the third week that we actually trying to get Carlos from work. He usually comes in the afternoons, Tuesday or Thursday. And I need to take the machine because the machine is being, like working without nonstop and no maintenance. So we need to have a maintenance order on the picture.
Sorry, and then only one other thing, and this, I just noticed that because selfishly I use the gym, the filter in the water fountain is like so very overdue. So I don't know if that's something that we can just order and replace, or is that a company? I don't, hopefully it's not a company, but the filter is giving a red flashing light in the water fountain. Sorry, throw something else on your list. Thank you. All right.
Water usage report for June. This is the next agenda point, number 8, water usage report for June.
Yeah, well, the average gallon use in a month for residential units on Leeward Point, it's 100,000 gallons or 3,333 gallons per day. It's an average of 82 gallons per unit. So we find out, since we actually endorsed that job from Brian, that in June, the usage was 20,000 gallons more than regular. We're supposed to have 100,000 and we have 20,000 more. So, which, gets our attention because even though this month was a 30-day cycle, the usage is still, very high. So we find out that there's 2 units where the water meters are broken. So, and that it's been happening for more than 6 months. And one is Conejos, unit 23, it doesn't work. And we actually been putting the same number over and over and over again until we, I look at the number and say, well, but this number is crazy. And Carlos has been telling us and nobody's paying attention. So now that I'm coordinating with him, so I understood, I went there and I saw that those 2 meters are completely stopped, but they're still running water. So we don't know exactly how much water they're using.
So they can measure it. They measure it where?
There's no measure because the market.
It should have reduced our consumption.
So then the reality is higher.
They haven't complained because they are living there, like the tenant is living and they're using it.
If the meter is always stuck on the same number, then North Miami Beach would be calculating usage based on that, which would be 0.
Yeah.
No.
We get fixed.
This
No,
is stopped completely, Robert. So this is not moving since 6 months ago. So that means that water meter on unit 23 and unit 28, which is John Biederbos, the one next to Laura,
Yeah.
they're completely stopped, but they are actually still, like having water inside. So we don't know exactly how to calculate. So we need to replace those ASAP in order for us to have an estimate. So those 2 are completely to replace and we need to actually call a plumber to get an estimate. The high usage in unit 6, Kabbalah, and also unit 13, Kabbalah also. They actually have a very high usage. The average is 200 gallons.
So I have made a comment to that unit twice already. They have a continually running water in the back. And I told them, I'm like, you guys have a hose, I can hear it. It's like under the deck. I can't see it, but I can
Okay,
hear
but
it.
so that tells us that water that is coming on the deck is connected to the drinking water, not to the water that is for the irrigation. So that is something that we need to look out carefully because
What
imagine
did they say?
they actually consume 4 times. They are consuming 4 times our average because we average is 82 gallons and they are 300 gallons.
So, I don't ever got this.
Well, and that's exactly what I actually, like see. And
So we need to send something to unit that not.
well, that's exactly what I'm actually wrote. So listen, unit 6, 300 gallons, average, unit 13, Kabbalah, 400 gallons. And unit 39, which is my neighbor, Sylvia, is actually have 190 gallons and she's not even living there. So it's close. So something is wrong So it
So,
can be.
so
a
it
water
might be,
leakage,
it might be a running toilet. It might be.
a
in the
running toilet, so we need to send a letter through this. But I mean, we got we spotted out and, you know, the point here is just to fix it. So we need to send a letter through these 3 unit owners and to make a test. So they need to close all the water and make sure that outside somebody is checking if it's not running water. And if that does, we need to check for water leakage, or there's any piping underneath that is draining, and we don't know. But those 3 are very concerning issues, because it's 4 times the average.
Throwing money away.
Yeah.
I just added good news that finally we have an invoice from Comcast at $100.
Okay,
Said on the other, it's 200.
Is that the one you need or no?
No, I need it.
So what is your recommendation? Do we have lumber? Would we?
no, that's exactly something that we need to get together and see exactly how we're gonna,
Do you wanna, since you're gonna be with Carlos, are you gonna be with Carlos? You may not have time for that, but I don't know, I'm trying to find a quick solution. To see if you guys could look at it, because I've at least passed by 13, I don't know about you.
oh, you say
Couple of
going to
times.
see the water.
Yeah,
leakage?
because I.
What unit are you? It's the corner one.
It's, yeah. or
Okay.
big deck,
Yeah.
okay? And I
But
can,
why they have drinking water outside of the patio?
Well,
That's.
I was informed that quite a few units have drinking water on the patio.
That cannot happen.
That's why I
We
have
need to
my-
actually have that study, because this is what some people here have that secret, and we don't understand exactly what it is.
That is a different story. Yeah.
I don't understand, but I know that Laura is always.
We have
repeating
2
that
different
story.
systems.
No, I know, we have to, but I don't know why we have a system that goes back on your house, but you don't have it, by the way.
I got it, yeah.
Yes, so I don't understand why it works like that.
Because of the layout, the way that, you know, we need to understand, you know,
Yeah.
where is the plant and how they lay out
Yeah.
all these water
Because
irrigation.
the only way you could do it then is you have to pull water back from the seawall
Yeah.
to the houses. Because right now I have to go to my dock to get water to even like clean my back porch, right? So a lot of people still have the one that's right by their door.
But that's a particular condition for being.
Oh, they have a spigot by the
Yes,
back
I
door.
used to have a spigot right by my door, that I
Okay.
was told was drinking water. But I know a lot of units still have it, including 13.
So we're paying for water that, you know.
And that's what Laura was talking.
So that is a good opportunity for us to do an assessment and to understand exactly how we're gonna fix this, because, you know, we're paying, you know, a high price for.
Yeah.
Well, you pay for more, is it sewer, like the cost of the drinking water is different than the cost of the irrigating water because of sewer, I think mostly, is that
Probably.
what I think it is? So, okay.
Okay.
Application to unit 13.
Unit 6, unit 13, and unit 39, yes. Because 30, 23, and 28, we know that it's a problem, and we need to replace it.
It's the
So
meter. Number 9, unit 10 front door replacement has been completed to be recorded in the meeting minutes. Is
we
that,
have been approved by the board in a motion that was made on July 9, an authorization of a condominium approval form to proceed with the city permit was granted to the unit owners on July 10, even though the meeting was canceled. Today, we're officially recording in the minutes of the board actions
But are they?
with the comment that the unit owner shall keep the color bronze of the outer side face of the door to maintain the standard color of the condominium. I got the documentations set up and I have the template, and this is what I actually create for unit 10, besides the condominium approval, the letter that any board or future board can follow up in case that this is not, you know, received. So that is the intention of the unit owner, that he's going to actually abide by the standard color of the condominium. So it's signature.
Alfredo, we need to add
Yes.
it, we need to add to the drive.
To what?
To the drive, he wants access to the drive. If you give him access, he will act.
Yeah, you have
And
access
here's
to
the,
the drive.
and here's the permit number, and here's all the documentation that she supplied, well, the contractor supplied. So it's all good, it's all already, like submitted on the city. So there is a copy for her.
And I
they're
understand
gonna
they're
get a copy
painting
for-
it.
They are going to paint it. That's exactly what this letter says.
You can paint them that way.
Yeah.
It's not a business.
I thought it was. Yeah.
No, you know that there is epoxy paint, and there's also, right now, there is a,
That's true, it's very hot.
If you put out the hand in our doors in the morning, it's like
I
Did
think
you
the
paint
noise.
maybe temperature.
Like a powder coat, but it's,
okay, but you can actually do on-site powder coating, which is, like before you but
Hopefully it works whenever they do.
Okay,
so we're
that's
good on
done.
that
That is recorded. and That's exactly
Official-
what we needed to have for the second.
for the
I
minutes.
think we
then.
need, I think we need to vote on it, no? To make it official.
It's already done.
It's already decided.
It's already
We
decided.
already signed the agreement.
Okay.
Number 10, Unit 27 plumbing issues.
Okay, well. That's a long story. I called AMG Plumbing Incorporated, the plumber that was help us in the condominium a couple of years ago in a similar situation. He checked Laura's unit 27, and found no evidence of pipe blockage in the main plumbing system, as she was claiming the association to be liable. The plumber checked the pipe and found no evidence of bursting, performed the drain cleaning, inserting the 14-feet metal coil, which they call a snake, into the sink, and removed tangled animal hair and build up grease. After the clog of the sink was removed, the plumber checked the cleaning access pipe at the front of her unit and sidewalk and confirmed no issue with the blockage. I was there, and the water was flowing inside the pipe without returning or showing any trace of sand. I have a report, and I forward to you guys. The plumber also confirmed that this issue is entirely the responsibility of the unit owner's maintenance and not an issue of the association. Again, July 4, I have an email from a neighbor of Laura stating that the issue is still not resolved, and I called the plumber again and scheduled another visit on July 9. Even though the warranty for the clogging is honored until 24 hours, he was able to commit and to help us out to check again on the issue. Then I called Laura to confirm the appointment, and she clearly told me that somebody helped her outside to flush the plumbing line outside, and therefore it seems it was working so perfect as per her petition, and I canceled the visit. When I canceled the visit, I told him clearly the request is from you, and that means that you're gonna void any warranty that I have. So I did that, and then few weeks later, I heard a complaint from Laura again, and after I hear that last week, I told him clearly that I will schedule her issue on the following meeting, which is this, because we were, canceled, couple of meetings. And I told him that I will post it on the agenda for further discussion, and possible get another plumbing company, which she suggests Roto-Rooter, and get assessed and fix the obstruction that Laura claims to have in the outside line from the door out. So last night, we received a notification from another neighbor of Laura stating that Laura needs to get her kitchen sink unclogged based on what he saw and what he discussed with the unit owner. At this point, I really don't know what to say and what to do, because the effort and the willingness to help her situation was there. So the complications strike in the character of the unit owners. So I don't want to, get because she's not present and get, like anybody impression that we don't want to help or I just want to be accusatory or trying to get that recording because I don't trust her. My position here is to help as much as I can. And the thing is that we have an issue. The issue is not being resolved. For some reason, comes and goes. And when we try to action, all of a sudden it gets resolved. So right now, it's like a looking back from our end that we are not helping, that the association is not helping Unit 27 because we are not getting all together, and I don't think this is true. And I needed to say here, and I needed to record it with all the day because I'm personally spending time setting all this up to get into this further problem. And the worst part is that she is engaging with other people to get the problem even worse. So, or either he help us out to help her with the issue, or I don't know exactly what other.
So each time a plumber does come, then the issue is not there.
It's not there. He check inside, he say that the issue is not there. Outside, he check and he say that the issue is not there. But we actually have something physical because Manuela sent an email with a recording where the water was coming back, and it is. Yes.
I don't know.
Did he snake from the, you said, I just want to verify, he snaked from the front of the house into the parking lot?
No, it didn't need it.
Because now, she spoke to me yesterday, and she said that's where the issue is. And in her experience in the past, she had seen her husband had the snake from there forward. So that's why she expects it to be the association's problem, because it's in the parking lot.
Yeah, when he actually performed the service, he made sure that he opens the service access on the outside and the water was running clearly. There was no obstruction and no water coming back. So 10 days later, the same situation happened. So I don't know at what point, I can, I'm trying to trust her as much as I could. I'm trying to help her. And the technician, which is the most credible, source, and he's the only one who actually have a technical vision of the problem. So he say, from my understanding, it's a matter of maintenance. But right now we know that something it's not right, and we need to solve it.
It looks like
Yeah, I think that was a suggestion. Yesterday she called 7 o'clock. 2 days before she called 7 o'clock. I think everyone is sensitive to our situation, her age. We spend a lot of time with her, everyone. We have a good intention. The time you spend on this, maybe my suggestion, can we call the company she suggests for something? It's not so expensive, and she already said.
No, it is expensive, Manuela, yes. And the reason that I needed to have this conversation with all you guys here, because
how much it is, more or less?
it's gonna be around $800.
800.
Yes.
A lot.
So what we need to do is.
Just to finish off with, my question is, you're already spending so much time in court, and for me, it's hard, and she told me 7 o'clock every time, saying that you're not helping her, word, but at the end of the day, the time you spend with Laura, maybe, I'm just suggesting, maybe, to close this, because this is going to be no end story. She involving a lot of neighbors, she's making pressure, she already told me that she contact a lawyer. Maybe we have to pay or try to find a cheaper solution, another, just to close the story.
Manuela, this was the only opportunity that we have because we haven't seen for a while. So today is the day that we need to actually make an action and say, okay, are we moving forward to get rubber rooters and actually flush the outside and see what is the problem? Because she claims that it's not out, it's not inside, it's outside. So let's get. No, it's a different company, and because they need to actually perform the camera to see if there's any physical obstruction and then do the flush. I believe that we pay.
Was that $1,500?
$1,500. Yeah.
Maybe we can.
1,500, 1,500, 1,500.
Because of the camera.
because of the camera and yes.
But the camera, it would assure you that you can see that there's no obstruction, right? So it's pros and
And
cons.
that's exactly what I'm actually asking the board. Are you guys feel okay if we do this for the sake of line on building 3? Because we did it for building 2 and we cleared it up.
Because the thing was that when Marcelo was seeing the worst of it, other units were also seeing some degree. So my unit,
Right.
my toilet stop, Natalie's unit, her toilet stop, but nobody else is seeing any problems.
That's exactly my point. So no one next, not even John,
John.
nor Brian have made any complaints about, like obstruction.
Basically, there's water coming down, because I saw that.
No doubt about it. So today we actually make a decision.
The water is coming
Can-
down. There is a problem.
Can I ask a question?
You suggest her, to bring another person from her, the more pay.
Go ahead, Alan.
Alfredo, how many times that plumber came?
He came one time and she
Uh,
rejected the second.
and did, yes, one time and he
So,
fixed it.
so what I
and-
would suggest, if he came only one time, and the second time she rejected, is calling him again, to come and say, look, listen, she has the same problem. You've been paid for that. Can you come
Adam.
back? I mean, it's been.
You didn't listen to me what I say. He said to me clearly, I'm not coming back.
Even if he gets paid?
Yeah. I know, right? He's paid, yes.
Because of that relationship.
None of the relationship, is because,
He's not gonna
once
honor
long
the
time.
warranty
The
because it's
one,
already been.
for clogging, there's no guarantee, only 24 hours window. And that
How much
happens,
did we pay?
like,
How much did we
already-
pay him that time?
She paid.
She paid? Oh. Okay.
But
Wow.
it's cheaper than $800.
no, it was $200,
Okay.
but it was for, like an unclogging service.
Like a simple unboxing.
Inside.
So what I would say
Can-
then she needs to call, or we can help her and call a different plumber to maybe the guy has a better solution. And that way we already have two plumbers that looked at the issue. If both concur that the same thing, it tells us something. If the new plumber comes and finds that maybe it has to do with something outside, then obviously we pay for it. If not, she pays for it. But before we go and we hire a plumber that's going to come with a camera, when we know that the other two adjacent neighbors don't have any issues, and spend $1,500 on that, I
Can
think
we
the
do
just
something, can we request a maintenance service for the line and do the flushing?
If the new plumber comes and says there's no problem outside, but she still has water coming in. So at the end of the day, something is happening, so objectively, something is happening.
You're saying pay for
For the
main
flush, yeah, for the flush on the outside line. Yeah, we call. This is the company that she feels comfortable. Are we okay? So I make a motion to, okay, all right.
It's a neighborhood thing.
Well, no, let's see, what the flush is. I don't know, you guys want to do the camera?
Would that help?
Let's not do
Just a
camera.
flush,
And,
okay.
and would that help more units than just hers?
Yes, because you will.
Then let's do that.
So the motion. So hold on, I didn't understand. So what's the motion to flash outside?
The flush out, yeah, flush out. It's basically, like water jets, water pressure. To clean everything
how-
is-
And that's gonna be the line for all the units in building 3?
Yeah, it will help, exactly, yeah, like they did on building 2.
The one other good thing about that is Roto-Rooter is a very large national company, so that hopefully their warranty is a little bit better than 24 hours.
Yeah, the water is important for her.
Yeah, so maybe it'll last a week and she can keep an eye on it. Let's ask.
And how
about
much is that costing? And how much is that costing us?
I probably will say between $500 to $800.
Okay, all right. So I say, let's give that. If that's going to be beneficial to other people as well, I would be okay with that. But
Okay.
if after that, but hold on, but let's make sure that we understand that if after that she still has that issue, it's not our problem.
Well, she clearly said that the issue is outside, not inside. She said that everything is done okay. We actually have, work done inside. Let's see what happens when we fix the outside.
Okay, but that's exactly what I'm saying. But she needs to understand that if we flash outside, and she still has that problem after that, she needs to hire another plumber and figure it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
So
Does Robert have to say the last one? Or number 11.
Number 11, Unit 30 non-compliance with board request to remove materials from outside of unit.
Okay, I have a complaint.
We sent the official letter, right?
Yeah, we had the first letter. I actually passed by on Saturday and, I don't know, sometimes it's picked up, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, and now it's becoming worse. I don't know if, it's something regarding prices or something, but it doesn't look good. And I'm determined to get the second letter and to give them a deadline of removal. Otherwise, Carlos have to remove that and she have to, pay her own expenses.
If we remove that from our property, that's fine.
Yeah, you can remove that because this is part of the condo association. You cannot actually, let
we should ask the lawyer.
all the clutter that she had on the front and on the back.
We should ask the lawyer before we do anything.
Going into the back patio, that doesn't sound like we could go and remove it.
Send a second letter, giving the warning and a day,
I would recommend us. I believe the things are coming, the swarms, etc. So we have to write something.
I cannot hear João.
Just to understand what is the letter we need to send. With a very quick one, they are charging too much, so at the end of the day, like a 10 minute thing, just to tell us, you send this letter, and after this letter, Carlos picks it up.
but
And
that
then put it
letter
in
to be
the.
sent by the lawyer.
No. I just want the letter that allows us then to take action. And I don't know who needs to take action. I don't know if we can
We
remove.
want to have covered the legality of.
Yes, because you're gonna enter private property to remove private property materials. Yes, imagine that you come into my patio and take things from there. Think,
The front is what is more.
no, not only the front, it's the back.
Also,
Of course, the back is
Both.
the size. Back is
Yeah.
the
I think
size.
last time she covered with a tarp, with a
No,
brown
but
tarp.
then everything goes out, things fly to the.
No, I saw it, but if
Yeah.
you feel that it's more risky, but we need to actually
Both.
document it.
I would
I
say-
actually have pictures taken.
We have people that pass by there and ask if the house is abandoned. And we are not talking about the real abandoned house, which is the 31, but
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, so the second letter is good.
It's not an impression, and I'm actually not going, like all the time there, but every time that I see, it's like, wow, something's going on.
Yeah,
Which is getting, okay, I know it's not in the agenda, but the unit 31 has windows open. We have cockroaches in the floor for the first time in our home. I don't know what is happening like there. For a while, it was a museum for cats. The 31, yes, it's abandoned, but they left the windows open. It must be quite messy inside. And someday we need to take action because it's really.
Well, so when we actually ask the lawyer.
We can ask, okay, so what we do with 31, they have the window open.
still.
Yes, on the front and then on the back, sometimes people come to show the house and you leave the door open, so the cats go in and cats
They
go
show
out.
that house in that state?
Yes. So. So we may have
Okay,
to
so agree on second letter.
Okay.
No, we don't want it. Understanding what needs to be in the letter so we can act after.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, I sent.
No, I mean, the letter has to be.
I know, but what are the terms that need to be in the letter so we can act on the letter?
Like,
So,
for example, I believe that the back part, because I've received notification, is a limited common area, therefore the association has a right to enter it for specific reasons, but I'm not the one who should say that, the lawyer should say that, right? And maybe that needs to be written.
The patio is a common area, it's not.
It's called a limited common area. I was also educated on it.
Just a quick reminder, we need to send letters for the people in arrears. So I send you an email, please just tell me if you agree or not, the notifications. We have 24,000, half of these are 2 units that are already in pre-lien. After 45 days, they're gonna be lien. I'm sorry, but yes, so we have 2 pre-liens, they're gonna move into lien after 45 days as defined by AVI, but then we have some units that right now we have 15 units in arrears. So it's ridiculous, sorry, it's ridiculous, it's people need to pay in period, sorry. No, they already use the system, so no, they're still not understanding how is the system, so we need to start sending notifications, please answer the email. So,
Joao, is my unit in arrear?
Sorry?
Is my unit in arrear?
I don't know, Alan. I know that the previous time I checked, our president was, but no more.
Okay.
And I know that, for example, Manolis is about, because he called me today, asking if the door would left the key in the door. We paid, but they are, Kabbalah didn't pay. So there's a lot of entities they are deciding to pay later.
There are
And you
checks in
cannot-
there,
There's what?
checks.
What is the, can I just ask you, because I feel like you know more about this than I do. What is the official statement? If you're 3 days late, you get a notification, if you don't pay 3 more.
So until the 10th, you're not in arrears. After the 10th, what we decided was, okay, we send the first notification, and then after the first notification, it passes another month, then we have to send to the attorneys, which means you are already 2 months in arrears.
And then you're.
And we are talking, sorry? No, it's a pre-lien, but what I saw is that there's a lot of costs that are associated with this. Some of them is the cost of our penalties because they charge like 10% or whatever. The other thing is the charges of the attorneys, which I felt is a little bit aggressive, but it is what it is. And we've been informing people about this. So
Just to educate.
Kabbalah was informed. We have now some people that didn't pay, for example, the special assessment, Emilio. So at the end of the day, people need to receive a letter and react to it, because we cannot just spend time and time and time collecting every month.
Sorry, it's no misinformation.
Sorry?
It's no misinformation.
After 3 months, and I called a ton of people, I called John, you called Didier, so no.
How these, bouncing, like
So
checks,
the bouncing here, this is the.
Those are the coupons.
These are the coupons, and this, for me, it's the letter that was sent by Tiffany with the special assessment vote. And I don't know why this has came back from Emir.
I have a return to center.
Yeah, return to sender. Attempt not known, unable to forward.
That's the address.
Yeah, because the address is not correct. Instead of 2871, it should have been 2781, but this is correct, 2781. So I don't understand why this came back. But yeah.
So then, do you just need it to belong in an email?
Yes, to send me, so I can answer Oscar and say, we're gonna start sending the letters. By the way, if you didn't send these 2 units that are pre-lien are already outside enumerate, and now they are being managed by our attorneys. So whenever they start collecting, they will pay fines, et cetera, et cetera.
One last thing I just want to say or propose really quick, and I don't know if we should make a decision. We don't need to make a decision now or not. But we've been meeting weekly for 6 months, 7 months going on now. Sometimes the agenda is very small.
I think that we should actually go back to. And guys, I think that we are about to get everything, on point with the contractor.
Yeah.
It's too much time consuming, and I don't have to just,
So-
monthly.
Monthly,
Well, if it's necessary, any other meeting within the month, we can do it, but I mean, monthly, because, we already did like 3 years worth of meeting, so.
I would say, I would suggest, and I agree, but I would suggest that until we finish the roofs, or at least in the short term, we move to twice a month instead of once a week. Instead of once a week. I don't know if that's okay with you, or or every 3 weeks, because there's still a lot of moving parts with the roof situation. I think that after that,
one meeting for matters that actually goes for the roofing project, and the other one's the general members meeting, and that's it. We have two, per month, and we do that one for the roofing by Zoom, so we don't need to come here.
yeah.
Everybody
No,
will,
that-
monitor their house.
So you're saying to do once a month general meeting, and then another meeting 2 weeks later for the roof.
Yes.
I would just have if needed.
If needed,
we are
exactly, if
efficient
needed.
answering emails, I don't think
Yeah.
we need to spend
If
another
we have
3 hours.
material for discussion, so then we actually bring that meeting, to that particular time.
Yeah.
And guys, just a question. This is not a process to pay, so I have 2 checks from 1 unit. We have process to pay. That means what? That means that I will need to call a courier. The courier needs to come here. We're gonna pay $10 for the courier. I'm gonna send the checks here.
And if you want to, I just wanted to go back into her door, but I mean, the way that he
So-
actually is,
The problem is that we have so many people in arrears that I'm tempted to take it so we can have less people in arrears. And this is a lot of money, by the way. So we can do that. But we need to educate. This is not.
Yeah, like, hey, maybe this is the last time we're.
This-
attending.
yeah.
She put it on the song on the menopause. If you was thinking that this is going to get, by USPS, it's completely, I don't know.
Please fix my, and by the way, this says, this is. By the way, the please fix my mailing
You
address, it was.
Six.
Are we-
Okay, so to clarify, if we do the general members meeting once a month, first Wednesday of the month, second.
So we can have the reports from Oscar and then.
Okay. So closing of the prior month.
This is not only roof.
No, it's a general meeting.
A general meeting,
In
the
addition.
second. The second is a general.
No, the timing of it, the first Wednesday or the second Wednesday?
Which is the second.
No, the first
Wednesday.
one.
But what he's saying is the reports and everything won't be ready, so it's always going to be.
We can do it in the second
Yeah.
Wednesday of the month. Because sometimes, because for example, now I have to ask for those appendices that I sent today. They were still coming because we needed to physically sign the checks, no more. So I need to ask if by the end of the month, send us these reports,
And this is all
etc.
on second Wednesday.
Yeah, second ones of the
For the general.
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
And then if needed.
Let's do that.
2 weeks, 2 weeks
Yeah.
afterwards. So
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Alfredo, you're good for sending or putting the notice for Tuesday's meeting 48 hours in advance?
Why not? Yes, I can.
Okay.
I mean, this is Tuesday, and I do it on Saturday.
No, no,
You just do it by
Yeah.
okay.
I would just recommend, because if we have Angelus here, if you have a talk with Kamal, Ellen, and Didier, if you have with Didier, Robert.
I
with
cannot hear.
Didier. I was saying that if you can have another conversation with Kabbalah and Robert with Didier, I think we have almost 80% of what we need to solve besides the 2 units.
And
that are
Didier's in
already-
France right now.
Okay,
I already sent her a message while we were on the call.
okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. It is 8:17. I am calling this meeting to a close. Thank you very much for attending. Have a wonderful week.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.